Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime. It's your girl
Ruka
and Big Boy Sam here, bringing you another wild card. It's a Let's Talk on Black Clover, the final episode. You know what it is. Let's get right into it.
From the beginning, they didn't even waste our time. We didn't get the normal intro that we usually get. They just did the opening and then they got right into the actual episode. I actually read the manga and I'm completely up to date with the manga, and I just have to say that the way that they did this final episode was more than I could have actually ever hoped for them to do on screen.
As an anime only guy, which you heard in our last video about Black Clover, hence why Ruka wasn't in it, I have to admit that this felt right. When you tell people that something's so long running as well, Ruka will tell you, we've been with Black Clover since Black Clover came. She came into it and then she said, yo, watch this. And I did the normal Big Boy Summer thing where I said, yeah, I'll watch it. And then waited a bit. But still, from the beginning, I've been watching this thing and it kind of hurt when I heard it was coming to an end. But then I started getting scared thinking, what's going to happen? Are they going to ruin it? And nah, they didn't, you know. Like on the level, they banged it.
This episode actually made me feel kind of emotional, and I knew they weren't going to ruin it because Tabata has, from what I've heard, been very involved with the anime. Even the filler episodes, he has watched over them and made sure that they're canon. So the fillers aren't just your regular fillers where it's just stretching out the thing. The fillers mean something to the rest of the story, unlike Naruto.
I knew you were going to say that, but still.
That's my biggest pet peeve with Naruto is the fillers, because they're just nonsense. He loves this series, the studio clearly loves the series, and they have done a great job from the very start all the way until this finale. What I actually really enjoyed was the very end sequence when they were closing it out. They made sure that we remembered all of the characters, even the side characters. They brought our attention back to them, and they communicated so much with just facial expressions. Now that is quite hard to do. Most of the characters did not say anything in the end, but you knew exactly what each of them were thinking and feeling. And for you guys that don't know, there will be a Black Clover movie coming out.
Yeah, bruv, I'm so excited. I can't wait, bruv. Back on what you were saying though, with how they've got they brought our attention to the past characters. It was beautiful to watch the fight sequence and hear Asta give himself a pep talk basically. Because remember, the first ever episode, he lost his will for the first time. Like, the only time I've seen him lose his will was that first episode where them guys were going to steal his grimoire, and he was just like, maybe I'm not great, maybe I can't be, maybe it's been for nothing, and then he got his grimoire. Like, well, they're going to steal Yuno's grimoire, but whatever. And this time where he was like, nah, I've done this, I've seen this, I've battled through this, and I'm going to take you down too. Bruv.
It wasn't even that he said, I'm just going to take you down. He said, everyone I have fought with, everyone from the Clover Kingdom that has ever fought alongside me, I am fighting with the power of all of those people. And I really love the way they brought Yami into it, because you know, we've just lost Yami at this point, and you anime only don't know what's happening to Yami at this moment in time. But the way he used him as his strength, the fact that he used Yami's sword to fight, because he had no anti-magic that he could use, no normal magic that he could use, no arm that he can use. You know, he's fighting one-armed, and the way that they did it was just, it was really emotional. Like, I can't even get over it. It was very emotional. Like, I had chills watching the episode. The way that they handled it was so beautiful. My hat goes off to them. Oh,
and another side note that I want to talk about as well is, like, back in the first arc, when we were like talking about Black Clover and just watching it, and we were like, you know, what team are you? Team Team Asta? And I would say I'm always Team Asta, and I believe you said the same as well. Like,
yeah.
And we can clearly see that the studio's definitely Team Asta, because like, let's be honest, it's supposed to be Asta and Yuno's story, but the last episode was an Asta-filled episode. Yeah, we got a little bit of Yuno at the end, but it kind of seemed like a little side character this episode. And like, don't get me wrong, as I said, Yuno is still one of my favourite characters, but Asta has grown so much and he's done so much at a disadvantage and shown that, you know what, Black Bull's all day, fam.
It's not the studio, because I will say that the anime actually sticks very, very, very closely to the manga.
Yeah.
What you see is what you'll read in the manga for the most part. There might be a little thing here or there, but for the most part it's extremely close to the manga. So it wasn't the studio just like saying F Yuno or anything like that. The truth of the matter is this story is about Asta. Yes,
okay.
There is the rivalry between Yuno and Asta, and I actually love the way that they've done the rivalry between them, because they've made both characters very likable. Although, yes, I am Team Asta, I still really like Yuno. He's still very, very powerful. He still has his place here. He still has a role to play. He still has an important part here. And they don't disrespect any of their characters. I just love it. It was really good. And also the way they showed Lee Bei's backstory and Asta's mom.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Was so good. Again, they did keep it very close to the source material, but they still handled it so well. They made sure it had the correct respect. They made sure we saw the same characteristics between Asta and his mom. They gave us clues as to why his mom might have abandoned him.
What would you do in that situation when your power is to suck up life and magic?
She had no choice.
Of course.
Of course, the only choice was to leave him somewhere where she couldn't harm him. And also, just the connection between Lee Bei and Asta's mom as well. The way that she took him on as her son, because she was obviously trying to fill a void.
Yeah.
Because she had just lost her son. But she didn't just act as Lee Bei was the replacement. She loved him too.
Of course. No.
As another son. And the way she sacrificed herself for him was beautiful. And I also like the fact that they drew attention to Lee Bei not fighting as hard as he could, because he knew that this was his mother's son, his brother. Through being with Asta, he knows what Asta's like.
Yeah, 100%.
He couldn't have possibly known how Asta was going to react to devils, because as far as Lee Bei is concerned, only one person in the entire world has ever shown him kindness, and that was Asta's mom. But he couldn't be sure that Asta would see devils the same way.
Yeah.
But Asta gave him the same reception, and that was just really nice to see. Reading it is one thing, but you know, it's all in black and white, and seeing it on screen is just a different experience, especially because you've got the music as well. You've got like loads of different elements, and they really brought it together. They made sure that Tabata's story was told in the right way.
Just like you said, my hat goes out to them. They did a great job. But just to close us out, I've got one question for you, and you might not be allowed to answer this because you probably already know. But based on the anime, who's going to be the Wizard King? Asta or Yuno?
Based on the anime, I would say that Asta deserves it more. He has done more for the kingdom. He clearly has shown that he is stronger than Yuno, because as you did in your video, where you were talking about the differences between the fights when the devil possessed showed up, Dante, Zenon, you know, all of them guys. Asta's team was really a limping team. It was not the A team. I mean, I love them all, but let's be honest, it was not the A team, and it was just a few of them. Whereas the Golden Dawn, every single person was there, but Yuno, and he still turned up in the end, and it didn't make much of a difference. Everybody would have died had it not been for their captain, and their captain didn't even hold up as well as Yami did, in my opinion. Come at me if you like, I don't care. Asta deserves this way, 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 way more. He's way stronger. He takes the Clover Kingdom very seriously, and had it not even been for Asta, Yuno wouldn't have even thought that he could even dream to be a Wizard King.
Do you know what's even worse? Based on what you just reminded me about the video that we did the video on. Now seeing Nat is also part of the Black Bulls. You actually understand. I said the B team. It's more like the C team, really, because Nact is a team by himself.
Well,
based on what we know so far, well, what I know so far, bruv.
I know a bit more.
Stop doing those faces, bruv. I know you know.
If you want me to spoil it,
hey, we're anime channel.
So what happens is now, okay, I'm not gonna do that to you guys. This was a beautiful episode. Amazing job. What a way to end the series. Well, it's not an end forever, you know, it's just a little break, and I do think Tabata was getting burned out because the manga, you know, we had originally weekly, but sometimes every now and then there'll be a 2-week break, or there'll be a little bit of a break. It can be really hard to keep up.
But
to do all of the work. So I'm not even saying anything about Tabata. He's done such a great job keeping the season as good throughout.
100%. Tabata, my hat goes off to you, bro.
This was an amazing watch. I cannot wait for the movie, and I really do hope to see Black Clover again on screen as an anime, because there's so much more story to be told.
Alright guys, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share.
Peace.